You're born underwater. The moment you pop out, it's sink or swim. Literally. You've got to paddle your tiny, wrinkly body to the surface for that first crucial breath of fresh air. See that enormous creature next to you? That's Mom. She weighs about 3,000 pounds, can crush a crocodile in a single chomp, and for the next year or so, she's your best shot at survival. So stick close. Real close. Why? Because everything around here thinks you look delicious. Lions on the shore, crocodiles underwater, and even grumpy adult hippos might see you as an annoyance. Your number one job for the next few months? Don't get eaten or squished. Simple enough, right? Now that you've mastered the fine art of not drowning, you're in for what we call the clingy baby stage. You'll spend your days glued to Mom's side. She's your personal life raft, bodyguard, and snack bar. Fun fact, you can nurse underwater. Delicious. But don't get too comfortable. There are some serious hazards out there. Crocodiles lurk near the riverbank, hoping for an easy meal. Lions occasionally roam by, eyeing you like a tasty appetizer. And that's not even considering your own relatives. Adult hippos can be real grouches. If one of them feels you're too close, you might get a not-so-gentle reminder to give them space. Once you're a few months in, you've earned your place within the pod, that big, boisterous family of hippos who share your river. Playtime for a young hippo usually means chewing on your siblings. Gently, of course. By wrestling and biting, you're actually learning the fundamentals of hippo life. Who's stronger? Who can open their jaws wider? And who knows the best mud pits? It's all in good fun until it's not. Because when an adult gets annoyed, they can fling you halfway across the river with a single head toss. Still, childhood isn't half bad. The pod's got your back. As long as you remember the rules, don't wander alone, and don't challenge the alpha, chances are you'll make it to those awkward teenage years in one piece. The teenage phase. Big enough to have an ego, not big enough to back it up. You're starting to fill out. Your jaw's growing stronger, and your skin's thickening. This is when you test boundaries. You might wander a bit farther at night, challenge a younger adult, or try to claim a slightly better patch of mud. Usually, you'll get swatted back to reality, but it's all part of learning. Sometimes, you'll get a minor victory. A younger hippo might back down when you flash those budding tusks, but more often than not, you'll find yourself retreating when the heavyweights step in. Keep training. You'll need those skills soon enough. Congratulations, you've made it to adulthood. You're now a 3,000 to 4,000 pound muscle machine, capable of toppling boats, scaring off lions, and snapping crocodiles in half, if they're foolish enough to test you, that is. But guess what? Life isn't suddenly easy just because you're enormous. If you're a male, you might have your eye on becoming the dominant bull. That job comes with perks like the best spot in the river, first dibs on females, and basically everyone having to respect your personal bubble. But earning that job? That's the problem. You'll have to fight the current alpha, who's just as big and grumpy as you are, in a jaw wrestling match that could leave scars or worse. The winner keeps the throne. The loser limps away to a less desirable stretch of river. And if you're on the losing end of multiple fights, you might end up a wandering bachelor, forced to graze on subpar grass and lurk in the background like a sad giant ghost. At least there's romance, right? Well, if by romance you mean the dominant bull decides it's time to mate and everyone else better step aside, then sure, there's that. Females have their own hierarchy, and they typically prefer a strong, healthy mate who can guard them and their future offspring. But it's less about roses and moonlit strolls, and more about biting and bellowing until someone backs down. If you are a female hippo, your adult life revolves around protecting your calves, eating enough grass to maintain your bulk, and steering clear of male fights when they get too rambunctious. Because when two bulls clash, bystanders can get seriously hurt. When you're not fighting or flirting, you're probably lounging. Under that blistering African sun, you need a way to stay cool, and submerging in a river or slathering yourself in mud is the perfect solution. Mud baths keep your thick skin from cracking, and also act like a built-in sunscreen. Plus, it's super comfy. But come nightfall, you've got work to do. Namely, eating your weight in grass. You might wander several miles inland, chomping as you go because that giant belly of yours can hold an astonishing amount of plant matter. Sure, grass isn't the tastiest meal, but it's available in bulk, and you need those calories to maintain your unstoppable mass. Crocodiles might share your river, but they know better than to mess with a healthy adult hippo. Lions sometimes try their luck if you're out grazing alone, but a single charge from you can send them flying. Then there's humans. Sometimes they fish in your rivers, or worse, they might see you as a trophy. Let's just say your relationship with them is complicated. You can tip over their flimsy boats with one push of your massive head, and they, in turn, might retaliate with something far more deadly. Even at the top of your game, you're never truly safe. After a decade or two, or 3, life starts taking its toll. Your joints ache. Those epic battles for territory, let the younger bulls have at it. You've got zero interest in losing another chunk of hide. You might find a quieter stretch of water away from the main pod where you can rest without interruption. Eventually, every hippo's journey comes to an end. You might drift off in the shallows. Your massive form will return to the ecosystem, feeding scavengers and fertilizing the soil. Your last gift to the river that shaped you.